Hey guys, so I just wanted to come on and talk to you about the This Is Paris documentary that I watched last night. So good, so good. I can never look at Paris Hilton ever the same. For her to just show her authentic self and her true self on camera for the world to finally see is very brave of her, considering she's been keeping up this act for like 25 years, 24 years. And then on top of that, or actually a little less, so like 25 years-ish. And then on top of that, to reveal very hard emotional things with the world that she hasn't shared with anyone is with, at least with, she shared with her sister Nikki, she shared with probably a close friend, and then the only people that actually know are the people that went through it with her. That is just super, it was a great documentary. I will say that there were some things in the documentary that were alarming, and I don't recall them having a like trauma trigger warning, but if you do have like some kind of trauma in your past that you do not remember or recall or don't know of, it might cause you to for some like feelings or experiences to actually come back into your mindset. So it starts off with pretty much Paris just going through, and the camera woman, they're going to her grandfather's home, his farm, to film. And in that house, there are scenes in it from her childhood that she can kind of, relate to and basically is connected to. However, it also starts with Nikki, and Nikki's like, hey, I don't really do these interviews, but at the same time, I know her the best, so it's better for me to do this interview because it really wouldn't be that authentic if I weren't in it. So I'm like, okay. So I can honestly say that Nikki knows the most about Paris. Obviously, Paris has said multiple times that Nikki is her best friend. So Nikki does know a lot, and she knows everything about Paris. So that is why I found it kind of hard to see how she responded to Paris sometimes, and you can tell that it's because she wants Paris to kind of get out of this childlike personality, kind of, but also because she's protected her for so long that she kind of stepped into this motherly role than a little sister role. So I think for me, Nikki said something that was alarming to me, and it is when they are actually talking about Paris's kidnapping and how Nikki all of a sudden says, and I thought it was really inappropriate for her to say, in my opinion, did you ever say sorry to mom and dad? And she was like, no. Paris is like, no, like, why did they say sorry to me? After, her going through the torture that she went through for 11 months before she turned 18. And that to me was just very insensitive to say. Knowing the trauma that she went through and what she went through for 11 months, being emotionally abused, physically abused, mentally abused, being told, being watched, most likely when she was naked, and then being put into solitary confinement when someone told their superiors that she learned how to hide her pills so she wasn't consuming them. I thought that comment, did you apologize to mom and dad, was so insensitive. When someone is ready to apologize, they will apologize when they feel like it, and it has to be authentic to them. Like having this fake apology will only cause more resentment towards the person that you're apologizing to. So why would Paris apologize at all if she's not feeling that like at all? So that was really crazy to me. That shocked me that she said that. Yeah, I know. I really need to get these off and done. And So a lot of people are commenting on Kathy Hilton's reaction. Let's just say I don't feel like I have any grounds to comment on Kathy Hilton's reaction. I know for a fact that if I told my mom I was going through some kind of abuse for 11 months, she would feel guilty and she would be crying like intensely. So I know where my mom stands on those things, but I don't know Kathy Hilton and I don't know her reaction to certain things and I don't know how she stands on things. However, she didn't seem remorseful at all for sending Paris to Provo. And that was really sad for me to see. So I can't imagine how Paris took it, just not having that reaction, but I'm sure she knows her parents. I'm sure her parents don't really apologize for their actions if they are in the wrong or if it caused some kind of damage, because like Paris and Nikki said, they always do their best to cover up a situation or to blow over a situation. Everything has to be swept under the rug and perfect. So seeing Kathy's reaction triggered a lot of people actually to call her like the worst mom in the world, and how can you sit here and say you didn't know, you knew your daughter was being abused, etc., etc., etc. However, at the same time, schools, especially reform schools, they are so good at hiding what goes on behind doors. They will call your kid a liar at the drop of a hat. And that's because it's a reform school. Like, you sent your kid there for a reason. They clearly weren't listening to you outside of that school, and you didn't have time to take care of it, or you didn't have the emotional and mental strength to take care of it anymore, and you gave up. So calling your kid a liar to you when they come to you with a situation, if another adult is saying, yeah, your kid's lying, it's like, you want to believe your child, but at the same time, your child has caused you problems before. I know for a fact, I have a soon-to-be 7-year-old goddaughter. If she told me anything along those lines, like, I'm not taking an adult's word over hers, like, point blank period. Like, I'm not putting her life in danger because she's a child and I shouldn't believe what she says. Like, she's coming to me because she trusts me and she thinks I can save her. I'm saving her. So I'm gonna save her. Like, this is how you build trust with children and with kids. And Paris says, like, this is when I stopped trusting anyone, and this is when I stopped believing anybody. And so that was really hard to see, but I can say that like I said, I don't know Kathy Hilton, so how can I know how she really feels about the situation? Maybe she's the type of person that won't show her emotions on camera, but I think a mother's guilt is nothing to really throw your opinion in if you are not one. Like, you don't know. You just don't know. So then we kind of get to hear what Paris went through at Provo. And I basically just told you, like, the abuse she went through, having to sit and stare at a wall for 10 hours straight, or just like hours straight. And then being hit for no reason or threatened for no reason. She says she went to a nature camp and she got the girls to run away with her, and when they caught her, they made an example out of her and they smacked her in the face in front of everybody. Like, that is not even borderline abuse. That's abuse. Like, that's crossing the line when it comes to reprimanding and when it comes to just like trying to get a child to do what you want them to do, or getting a teen to do what you want them to do. Do you really think abuse is going to help in any way? If anything, like, that's gonna make them resent you more. It's so true. Like, it's gonna make them scared of you, not respect you in any way. Like, and I grew up where discipline was like not normal, but if we were like so bad that we had to get the belt, we had to get the belt. And I remember like hating my parents for a few days, but then I would just get over it because, well, first of all, I honestly was kind of scared of my dad. But also because I just kind of moved on with my life. It wasn't a regular thing. So imagine being tortured and beaten every single day, and you think that a child is gonna respect you and all of a sudden go home to their life and be a normal kid with their parents. Like, I don't think so. However, I don't know because I didn't go to a reform school. So, the one thing that I can honestly say that I really connected with Paris on was that she is still trying to figure out who she used to be. I am like that every single day. I feel like I'm constantly changing who I am. I'm constantly trying to figure out who am I, like really who am I, and who was I before. I have a feeling that there is a certain part of my life that I blacked out for a reason. And the reason why I say that is because of the feedback that I get from certain people. I get this a lot, like, you are unaffectionate. The last guy I was talking to, he said, like, you are so unaffectionate. And it was really weird to hear that from him because we had only been seeing each other for like 3 days. So I was like, yeah, and you're really overly affectionate. Like, I don't know you. I can't like step into that role with you. And he was very, very overly affectionate, very emotional. He would like lay his head on my chest like I was like his mom. And but then he would be very like physically aggressive with me. So to me, I was like, what do you mean I'm not affectionate? I don't know you, and you're like trying to step into this role with me. You don't even know me. But anyways, I digress. I always get that. You're not affectionate. You need to relax. You are so uptight. And for me, I get it. I understand that I'm like that. I'm gonna try really hard not to cry. I understand that I'm like that. But at the same time, there is something like in my body that protects me from being any other way, from being vulnerable and secure with who I am. But I have the memory of an elephant. Like, seriously, I remember everything, like every negative comment, every good comment, everything that had to do with my appearance, and it affects the way that I act and like my facial expressions, the way I move my head. It really does affect the way I move in my life, and I know that, so I try to just figure out new ways to be me. But yes, Pear said she is trying really hard to remember who she used to be. And when she met with her classmates from Provo for the first time in years, 10 plus years, I believe, maybe 10 years. No, 10 plus years. That night when they left, she said, like, I feel like I'm starting to get to kind of figure out who I used to be. And she said, like, for a moment, I remembered who I was, because her classmates were telling her how brilliant she was and how she would shock them when they had class because she always knew the answers, but she would explain it in a very simple yet complex way, but everybody understood her. Like, it was, and they would just look at her and they're like, dude, you're a genius. You're like Einstein. And I think when you see her reaction of how she is reacting to how they're telling her who they remember her to be, she's just like taking it in, like, okay, I was like that, check. I was like that, check. And that would be so good if I had something like that, because I can't remember who I was either. So that part of the story really got me because like I don't remember who I was at all. I know that in like preschool I was kind of aggressive, like I bit someone. So I got my sister and I kicked out, but so I was like protective, I guess. I think I bit someone because they were messing with my sister. But yeah, that to me was just feeling lost is, I think, can be a really common emotion and experience for everyone, for a lot of people, if not everyone. Going with that, she says like, I can't date because I can't be myself. And she says like, I'm really scared to date because I'm scared to be myself, because she's been through so many abusive experiences, and because she's been through the abusive experience that left her a traumatic stamp on her like mind, then oddly enough, like people who go through abusive experiences at a young age, they tend to keep attracting that into their lives. And or like, for example, for me, I feel like I don't want to say always, because remember, I believe in manifesting. I believe in speaking into existence. So I'm just explaining. But I feel like for me in the past, I used to attract people who would leave right away. So now I'm the one who leaves right away. Like if you piss me off, or if you aren't going to be there for me when you say you are, or if things change, then we are done. Like our friendship is done, our relationship is done. If you're picking new people over me, someone who's been there forever, like your OG, then like I can't have that like back and forth in my life. I have to have someone who's very consistent. I basically just cut people off right away, and it's unhealthy, that I know, but it's hard to not do when I'm trying to protect myself. So I so understood what she was saying when she was saying I can't be myself, because she can't be vulnerable to be herself. She's opening herself up to be hurt. But I always hear like that is basically where your relationship grows, and that's what love is. And you really have to push through that to get a diamond in the rough. By the way, this is the best. So this is English breakfast tea with coconut nectar and oat milk, and this has replaced my daily coffee. It is so good, so good. But yeah, so basically, all in all, those were my takeaways from This Is Paris documentary. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was amazing. Like I said, I can never look at Paris Hilton ever the same again. I think she is a beautiful person, a beautiful human being. You can see how selfless she is. You can see how loving she is, how ambitious and a goal-getter she is. And we got to hear a little bit of her DJing, and I actually really liked the music. I enjoyed it. So yeah, make sure you guys go and watch that documentary. It might change the way you see even the people in your life, because you never know what they're keeping from you, what they're dealing with. And if there are people that you feel compelled to reach out to them, and just take their reaction with a grain of salt and build on that, or let it go. But all in all, you guys have a really, really great day or night. Thanks for watching this video. If you've gotten this far, please make sure that you comment below. Comment if you've seen the documentary. Comment, good things, I don't know. Like the video, and then subscribe for sure. I would love for you guys to subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel, and I think we're all trying to build our channels, to be honest with you. But yeah, subscribe if you want to, and thanks for watching. Bye guys.